Today, we're going to let you in behind the scenes to see what happens every time a home is listed by April Baker Homes. So as a case study, we're going to use the home we're in right now, which is 3148 Sunnyside in Brookfield. So before we even list the home, we come over, we go through everything, all the details to make sure that I know exactly all of the features and benefits of the home to make sure that I can advertise them in the best way possible. I also went through this house, and this house is a little bit different because it's vacant. Usually if there's a home with furniture in it, I'll try to stage it, or I'll bring in a few little items just to make sure that, you know, any buyer gets that feeling of home. But this particular house, so it's vacant. We looked around at a few things that needed a little touch-up paint and a little bit of cleanup. So we took care of that. After we're sure the home is ready, we go ahead and schedule the professional photography. And I do mean professional. We are sticklers for this to make sure that the home shines as brightly as it possibly can all over that MLS to get the best possible buyer through that door and making an offer. All right, so let's talk results. We had 6 showings before this even went on the market. After it was on the public market, we had 13 more showings. We also had an open house that had over 50 people come through this house to see if they wanted to make it theirs. When all of that was said and done, we had 3 offers to consider. When I say to consider, it isn't only just the purchase price. So I walked through each offer with my seller, pointing out the pros and cons of each, whether that was closing time or financing or, yes, of course, purchase price. So what did we end up with here? We ended up with an offer above asking price that closed in 20 days. That was a huge win for my clients because, of course, this is an empty house. They don't want to keep paying the light bill if they don't have to. So you might be thinking, well, the offer's accepted, work done, cash my check and let's go. It's not the case. There's quite a bit of work that goes into things even after the offer was accepted. So first off, we had an inspection. Of course, the buyer's going to come in and check out the house and make sure it's a good one, right? So I had to coordinate that and answer the questions that came up from the other agent. Next step is the appraisal. So of course, an appraiser is going to come out and make sure this house is worth the over asking price that we got for it. I met her and had a great conversation. We were here for about an hour, which is fine. It's great. I'm glad she was curious about the house. So gave her all of those details that I educated myself with in the beginning to make sure that she understood the value of this house, which she did. It appraised just fine. After that, I checked in with the lender periodically to make sure everything was on track. After all, this was a 20-day close. It's very fast for a finance deal to close this quickly, so I wanted to make sure that everything was happening as it should. The other thing that happens at the same time in the village of Brookfield, there's certain paperwork that needs to be taken care of. So I made sure that I gathered that, it was done correctly, and it was submitted on time. So what is the end result of all of this? My clients are happy, the home is going to wonderful new people, it's sold for over list, and in 20 days,